The moment I saw my private words plastered online with the caption, "Look at this pathetic loser," my blood turned to ice, and something inside me snapped. Evelyn, my ex, had taken our most intimate messages, conversations I thought were sacred, and turned them into a public spectacle for her followers to mock. My pleas, my vulnerabilities, the late-night confessions I'd shared when I thought we were building something real, were now screenshots on her blog, each one a knife in my chest. I sat in my dim apartment, staring at my phone, the glow burning my eyes as the comments rolled in. What a simp. This guy's desperate. Evelyn dodged a bullet. My name, Jake, was nowhere in the post, but anyone who knew us could connect the dots. The betrayal wasn't just personal. It was a public execution of my dignity. I'd loved Evelyn fiercely, or at least I thought I had. We'd been together for 2 years, navigating the chaos of our early 20s in a small Ohio town where everyone knew everyone's business. She was vibrant, sharp-witted, with a laugh that could light up a room. I was the quiet one, the guy who fixed her car when it broke down, who listened when she ranted about her dead-end job at the diner. I thought we were a team. But 6 months ago, she ended it, claiming I was holding her back. I didn't fight it. I let her go, thinking that's what love meant, wanting her to be happy, even without me. Now, I saw the truth. She'd been collecting ammunition, waiting to humiliate me. My first instinct was to call her, to demand why. But as I scrolled through the comments, my anger hardened into something colder, sharper. Revenge. Not the petty kind, keying her car or spreading rumors. No, I wanted something that would hit her where it hurt. Her pride, her image, the carefully curated persona she'd built online. Evelyn thrived on attention, on being the girl everyone envied. I'd take that from her, piece by piece. I started small, digging into her digital footprint. She'd always been careless with her passwords, using the same one for everything, Starlight 22. I remembered it from when she'd asked me to log into her email once to check a confirmation for concert tickets. It was a long shot, but I tried it on her blog's admin panel. My heart pounded as the login screen blinked and loaded her dashboard. I was in. Her entire online world, her posts, her followers, her carefully crafted lies, was at my fingertips. I could delete everything, expose her secrets, turn her into the laughingstock she'd made me. But that was too easy, too quick. Instead, I spent hours reading through her drafts, her private messages, her emails. That's when I found it, a folder labeled Old Stuff. Inside were screenshots of her conversations with Marcus, her co-worker at the diner. Messages from before we broke up. Flirty, suggestive, crossing lines I never knew existed. My stomach churned as I read them, each word a confirmation of what I'd suspected but refused to believe. She'd been cheating, and Marcus wasn't the only one. There were others, names I recognized, names I didn't. My pain turned to resolve. I'd use this, but not yet. I closed my laptop, my mind racing. I needed a plan, allies, someone to help me pull this off without getting caught. That's when I thought of Travis, my oldest friend, the one person I trusted not to judge me. I texted him, "Need to talk. It's about Evelyn." His reply came instantly, "On my way." As I waited, staring at the screenshot of her blog post, a new comment popped up. "This guy deserves it." My jaw clenched. They had no idea what was coming. Cliffhanger. But as Travis walked through my door, his face pale and his hands shaking, I realized he was hiding something. Something about Evelyn that could change everything. Travis slumped onto my couch, avoiding my eyes. His usual easy grin was gone, replaced by a nervous twitch I'd never seen before. "What's going on, Jake?" he asked, but his voice cracked, like he already knew the answer. I showed him the blog post, the screenshots, the comments tearing me apart. His face darkened, but not with the outrage I expected. Instead, he looked guilty. "Travis," I said, my voice low, "what aren't you telling me?" He hesitated, running a hand through his messy brown hair. "I didn't know she'd go this far," he muttered. My heart sank. "You knew about this?" I demanded, stepping closer. He flinched, raising his hands. "Not the post, man. I swear. But I saw her with Marcus a few months back. Before you guys broke up. They were at the bar, all over each other. I didn't tell you because I thought it was a one-time thing, and you were already so torn up about her." The room spun. Travis, my best friend since we were kids stealing beers from his dad's garage, had known Evelyn was cheating and said nothing. I wanted to punch him, to scream, but I forced myself to stay calm. I needed him. Why didn't you tell me? I asked, my voice tight. He looked away. I thought I was protecting you. And Evelyn said if I opened my mouth, she'd tell everyone about that night I got wasted and crashed your truck. You know my job's on the line if that gets out. Blackmail. Of course. Evelyn always knew how to twist the knife. But Travis's betrayal stung almost as much as hers. Still, I couldn't afford to lose him. Not now. You're going to help me fix this, I said, my tone leaving no room for argument. He nodded, relief flickering in his eyes. What's the plan? I laid it out. I'd use Evelyn's own tactics against her. Her blog was her empire, built on lies and half-truths. I'd infiltrate it, plant subtle cracks, fake messages, doctored screenshots, just enough to make her followers question her. But I needed Travis to get me dirt from the real world, stuff I couldn't find online. She's still working at the diner, he said. Marcus too. I can hang around, see what I hear. I nodded, but a part of me didn't trust him. Not anymore. Over the next few days, I worked in secret, crafting fake messages that mimicked Evelyn's style. Petty, self-aggrandizing, just believable enough. I posted one as a draft on her blog, a rant about how she'd faked a charity drive to pocket the cash. It wasn't true, but it was plausible, given her history of bending the truth. I didn't publish it, yet. I wanted her to find it, to wonder who had access to her account. Let her paranoia grow. Travis came through with gossip from the diner. Evelyn was bragging about her blog's traffic spike, oblivious to the storm brewing. But he also mentioned something odd. She's been meeting some guy named Lucas after her shifts. Not Marcus. Someone new. My mind raced. Another player in her game? Or a new victim? I told Travis to keep watching, but I was starting to wonder if he was feeding me half-truths to cover his own tracks. That night, I logged back into Evelyn's blog. Another draft caught my eye, one she'd written herself, time-stamped an hour ago. It was a new post, not yet live, titled The Truth About Jake. My heart stopped as I read the first line. He thinks he's clever, but I know what he's planning. She was onto me. But how? Cliffhanger. As I stared at the screen, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. You're not the only one watching, Jake. The text burned into my brain. You're not the only one watching, Jake. My hands shook as I gripped my phone, the apartment suddenly feeling too small, too exposed. Who was this? Evelyn? Marcus? Someone else entirely? I checked the number, local area code, but no name attached. I typed a reply, who is this? But deleted it. No, I wouldn't give them the satisfaction of knowing they'd rattled me. Instead, I double-checked my VPN, cleared my browser history, and changed Evelyn's blog password to something random. If someone was watching, I'd make it harder for them. I called Travis, my voice sharp. Did you tell anyone what we're doing? He swore he hadn't, but his hesitation made my skin crawl. Jake, I'm on your side, he insisted. I messed up before, but I'm not stupid enough to cross you again. I wanted to believe him, but doubt gnawed at me. I told him to dig deeper on this Lucas guy and to watch Evelyn closer. Find out who she's talking to. Someone's onto us. The next day, I went to the diner myself, something I hadn't done since the breakup. I sat in a corner booth, hood up, nursing a coffee while Evelyn worked the counter. She looked the same, confident, charming, tossing her hair as she flirted with customers. Marcus was there too, wiping down tables, his eyes darting to her every few seconds. I didn't see love in his gaze, though, just something possessive, almost angry. Lucas, whoever he was, didn't show. I was about to leave when a guy slid into the booth across from me. Mid-30s, wiry, with a scar above his left eyebrow. Jake, right? He said, his voice low. My stomach dropped. Who's asking? I shot back, keeping my tone steady. He smirked. Name's Lucas. Heard you're stirring up trouble for Evelyn. My mind raced. Was this the guy from the text? How did he know my name? Relax, he said, leaning back. I'm not her friend. She screwed me over too. Posted some lies about me last year, cost me my job. I want in. I didn't trust him, but his story checked out. I'd seen a post on Evelyn's blog months back, trashing some creepy regular at the diner. No name, but the details matched Lucas's scar and build. What do you want? I asked. He leaned forward. Same as you. To take her down. I've got dirt, real dirt. Bank records, receipts, stuff she doesn't want out there. My pulse quickened. This could be the break I needed, but it felt too convenient. Why should I trust you? I said. He shrugged. You don't have to. But meet me tomorrow, and I'll show you what I've got. I left the diner with my head spinning. Lucas could be an ally, or a trap. That night, I dug into Evelyn's blog again, looking for clues about him. I found an old draft, deleted but still in the trash folder, describing a stalker who'd threatened her at work. It had Lucas's vibe, but no proof. Then I checked her private messages. One, from Marcus, caught my eye. You sure about this Jake thing? If he finds out what we did, we're done. My blood ran cold. What had they done? Cliffhanger. Before I could read more, my laptop screen flickered, and a pop-up appeared. You're being watched. Stop now, or I'll tell her everything. The pop-up vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving my screen blank except for Evelyn's blog dashboard. My heart hammered. Someone had access to my system, or they were bluffing. I yanked the laptop's power cord, shut it down, and sat in the dark, listening to the hum of my fridge. The text from the unknown number, Lucas's sudden appearance, Marcus's cryptic message, it was all closing in. I wasn't just the hunter anymore. I was prey. I met Lucas the next day at a rundown park on the edge of town, far from prying eyes. He showed up with a manila envelope, his scar catching the sunlight. Bank records, he said, handing it over. Evelyn's been skimming tips from the diner, fudging the books. I got these from a buddy who works at her bank. I flipped through the pages, highlighted transactions, deposits that didn't match her pay stubs. It was damning, but I didn't trust Lucas's motives. Why not use this yourself? I asked. He grimaced. Tried. She spun it, made me look like the bad guy. You're already in her system. You can make it stick. I took the envelope but kept my distance. I'll think about it, I said. He nodded, but as he walked away, I noticed him glance at a black sedan parked across the street. Tinted windows, no plates. My gut screamed trap. I tucked the envelope under my jacket and left, taking a winding route home to shake any tails. Back at my apartment, I booted up my laptop in safe mode, running every antivirus scan I could. Clean. Whoever sent that pop-up was good, or it was a scare tactic. I turned to the bank records. They looked real, but I needed to verify them. I called Travis, who'd been dodging my texts. Where have you been? I snapped when he picked up. Busy, he mumbled. Evelyn's been acting weird at the diner, paranoid. Keeps checking her phone. I told him about Lucas and the records. Check them out, I said. Quietly. He agreed, but his voice was off, like he was hiding something again. That night, I planted another fake post on Evelyn's blog, a subtle one, accusing her of lying about a coworker considered. I decided to confront Evelyn directly. Not in person, that was too risky. I sent her an anonymous email from a burner account, hinting I knew about her skimming. Check your drafts, I wrote. Someone's playing your game better than you. Within hours, her blog went offline. She'd pulled the plug, but I knew it wouldn't last. She needed the attention too much. Travis called me later, his voice shaky. Those records are real, Jake. But there's more. I overheard Evelyn talking to Marcus. They're planning something about you. I think they know you're behind this. Cliffhanger. As Travis spoke, I heard a knock at my door, 3 sharp raps, too deliberate to be random. Ours theft to cover her own. I scheduled it to go live in 48 hours, giving her time to see it in her drafts and panic. But as I worked, my phone buzzed again. Another text from the unknown number. You're digging too deep, Jake. You don't know what she's capable of. I stared at it, my mind racing. Was this Marcus? Lucas? Or someone I hadn't even? I froze. Travis's voice still buzzing through my phone as the knocks echoed again. Jake, you there? He asked, but I was already moving, peering through the peephole. Nobody. Just the empty hallway, lit by a flickering bulb. My heart pounded as I grabbed a baseball bat from the closet and cracked the door open. Nothing but a folded note on the mat. Stop, or you'll regret it. No signature, just sharp, angry handwriting. I slammed the door, locked it, and told Travis to meet me at a coffee shop across town. Don't talk to anyone, I said, hanging up. At the coffee shop, Travis looked worse than ever. Pale, fidgety, like he hadn't slept in days. What's going on? I demanded, sliding the note across the table. He read it, his eyes widening. This isn't from me, man. I swear. I believed him, but only barely. Then who? I pressed. He leaned in, whispering, I think it's Marcus. I saw him with Evelyn last night, arguing. He mentioned your name, said you were getting too close. Close to what? The skimming? The cheating? Or something bigger? I showed Travis the bank records from Lucas. These are legit, he confirmed, his voice low. But there's more. I checked the diner's books. Evelyn's been funneling cash to someone, not just pocketing it. Thousands. My mind raced. Was she paying someone off? Blackmail? Or was this tied to the mysterious texter? I decided to push harder. I logged into Evelyn's blog from a public library computer using a new VPN. Her site was back online, but the comments were disabled, and her latest post was a vague apology. I've made mistakes, but I'm human. Classic Evelyn, deflecting without admitting anything. I published my fake post, the one about her framing a coworker, and watched the notifications flood in. Her followers were confused, some angry, others demanding answers. I smiled for the first time in days. But the victory was short-lived. That night, my phone buzzed with another text. You think you're clever? Meet me at the old warehouse on 5th, midnight. Come alone. No number this time, just a blocked ID. My gut screamed trap, but I couldn't ignore it. If this was Marcus or Evelyn, I needed to know what they were hiding. I told Travis to stay close, but out of sight, just in case. At midnight, I stood in the shadow of the abandoned warehouse, the air thick with rust and damp. A figure emerged, Lucas, his scar glinting under a streetlight. You're late, he said, tossing me a USB drive. More proof. Emails, recordings. Evelyn's been playing everyone, including Marcus. I gripped the drive, my mind racing. Why help me? I asked. He smirked. Because I want her to feel what I felt, powerless. Before I could respond, headlights flashed. A car screeched to a stop, and Marcus stepped out, his face twisted with rage. Cliffhanger, you're both dead. Marcus growled, pulling a knife from his jacket as the car's passenger door opened, revealing someone I never expected. The passenger door swung open, and Evelyn stepped out, her eyes cold and calculating, nothing like the girl I'd loved. Marcus stood beside her, knife in hand, his glare fixed on me and Lucas. You thought you could outsmart us, Jake? Evelyn said, her voice dripping with venom. You and this creep? She nodded at Lucas, who tensed but didn't back down. My mind scrambled to process it. Evelyn and Marcus, together here. The USB drive burned in my pocket, but I kept my face neutral. Outsmart you, I said, forcing a laugh. You're the one who posted my messages for the world to see. You started this. Her smirk faltered, just for a second. You were pathetic, begging me to stay, she spat. I gave them what they wanted to show. Marcus stepped closer, the knife catching the moonlight. And now you're digging into things you shouldn't, he said. You and Lucas need to back off. I glanced at Lucas, who was eerily calm. Tell him, Lucas said, his eyes on Evelyn. Tell him what you're really hiding. Her face tightened, and for the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. Marcus turned to her, confused. What's he talking about? He demanded. She hesitated, and in that moment, I knew Lucas had something real on her, something even Marcus didn't know. I took a chance. She's been skimming money from the diner, I said, watching Marcus's reaction. Funneling it somewhere. Thousands. You didn't know, did you? His jaw clenched, and he turned the knife toward Evelyn. Is that true? He growled. She laughed, but it was forced. He's lying, Marcus. He's desperate. But the doubt in Marcus's eyes told me I'd hit a nerve. Before anyone could move, Lucas lunged, tackling Marcus to the ground. The knife skittered across the pavement, and I dove for it, my hands shaking as I grabbed it. Evelyn screamed, backing toward the car, but I blocked her path. What's on the USB, Evelyn? I demanded, holding the knife low but firm. What are you so scared of? She glared at me, her mask slipping. You don't know what you're messing with, Jake. Drop this, or you'll lose more than your pride. I was about to press her when sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer. Lucas scrambled to his feet, Marcus groaning beneath him. We need to go, Lucas hissed, grabbing my arm. I hesitated, the USB drive heavy in my pocket, Evelyn's words echoing in my head. What was I missing? As we ran into the shadows, I heard her shout after me. You'll regret this, Jake. I'll make sure of it. Back at my apartment, I plugged in the USB. It was loaded, emails, audio files, bank transfers. Evelyn had been funneling money to a guy named Daniel, someone I'd never heard of. The emails hinted at blackmail, but the details were vague. One audio file was a conversation between Evelyn and Daniel, Her voice panicked. If this gets out, I'm done. I needed to know more, but as I played the next file, my blood ran cold. It was Travis's voice, talking to Evelyn. Jake's getting close. You need to stop him. Cliffhanger. Travis, my best friend, was working with her all along. But why? I sat in my apartment, the USB drive's contents burning a hole through my thoughts. Travis's voice on that recording, calm, deliberate, betraying me, played on a loop in my head. My best friend, the guy I'd trusted through every fight, every heartbreak, was in on Evelyn's game. I wanted to believe it was a mistake, a misunderstanding, but the evidence was undeniable. I called him, my voice steady despite the rage boiling inside. Meet me at the park. Now. Travis showed up, his usual swagger gone, replaced by a nervous shuffle. What's up, Jake? He asked, but his eyes darted to the USB drive in my hand. You tell me, I said, tossing it to him. Why's your voice on a recording with Evelyn, telling her to stop me? His face went white. Jake, I can explain, then do it. I snapped, stepping closer. He backed away, hands raised. She got to me, okay? After I saw her with Marcus, she threatened to ruin me. Said she'd tell my boss about the truck, my drinking, everything. I had to play along. I didn't buy it. You could have told me, I said. Instead, you sold me out. He looked away, shame written across his face. I didn't know she'd go this far, Jake. She's not just skimming money. She's tied up with some guy named Daniel. Bad news. Like, dangerous. I was trying to protect you. Protect me? The words felt hollow after everything. I'd had enough. I went back to Evelyn's blog, using my access to post everything. The bank records, the emails, the audio files. I didn't care about the fallout anymore. Her followers needed to see the real Evelyn, the one who manipulated and destroyed for her own gain. Within hours, the post went viral, her empire crumbling as comments flooded in. Is this true? She's a fraud. What else is she hiding? Evelyn called me that night, her voice shaking with fury. You think you've won, Jake? You have no idea what you've done. Before I could respond, she hung up. An hour later, my phone buzzed with a final text from the unknown number. Daniel's coming for you. Good luck. My heart stopped. Whoever Daniel was, he was the key to everything, and the danger Travis warned about. I met Lucas one last time, handing him a copy of the USB. Get this out there, I said. If something happens to me, make sure she doesn't walk away clean. He nodded, his scar twitching. You sure you want to keep going? He asked. I wasn't, but I'd come too far to stop. As I walked away, I felt eyes on me. The system, asterisk today's date and time is 2:40 p.m. Eastern European Summertime on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. I've removed the last names of all characters as requested, keeping only their first names, Jake, Evelyn, Travis, Marcus, Lucas, Daniel. Each part of the story remains over 3,000 characters, maintaining the same narrative structure, tone, and cliffhangers. The content still adheres to the YouTube safety guidelines with a monetization risk of 2, focusing on emotional drama and intrigue without banned words or explicit content. The artifact retains the same ID since it's an update of the previous version, and the content is wrapped in the required tag with the appropriate attributes. Let me know if you need further adjustments.